Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, let me ask you something. What happens when love turns into a battlefield? What happens when old wounds reopen in front of millions of eyes? And most importantly, what happens when Yaman makes the most shocking decision of his entire career, one that could destroy or save the two women who changed his life forever? You're watching Magazine News and Gossip, the only channel that brings you the raw truth behind the glamorous chaos. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that button because tonight, everything you thought you knew is about to change. The fire returns. A love triangle reignites. For months, tabloids in Turkey and Italy have been obsessed with one story. Yaman, Demet Özdemir, and Sara Bluma. A triangle so explosive that even the biggest celebrities refuse to comment on it. But in the last few weeks, things spiraled dangerously. Jan's career pressure, emotional instability, and the constant attacks from media pushed him to the edge. Still, no one expected what was coming. Because Yaman has now signed a document, a relationship management agreement, that has shaken the entire entertainment world. Why? What does it mean? Who forced him into this? Let's break it down. The tearful confession that changed everything. Just a week ago, during a live broadcast, Demet Özdemir finally broke her silence. And her words were nothing short of a nuclear bomb. Through tears, she said, "I don't want to be part of this emotional chaos anymore. But Jan needs to see the truth. If he really chooses to build a life with Sara, I will never forgive him. Let the whole world know." Those words echoed everywhere: television, Instagram, TikTok, news portals. And do you know what Yaman did? Nothing. He disappeared. No statements. No reactions. He locked himself inside his home and refused to answer anyone, not even his closest friends. Inside sources claim he suffered a massive emotional breakdown after hearing Demet's message. The question is, was it guilt? Was it love? Or was it the weight of a truth he could no longer escape? Sara Bluma strikes back. With Demet's emotional confession shaking the internet, all eyes turned to Sara Bluma. According to insiders, Sara was furious, not sad. Not confused, furious. She reportedly told her inner circle, "Jan keeps going back to the past. His face changes every time he hears Demet's name. I don't want a relationship like this." She demanded clarity. She demanded loyalty. And most importantly, she demanded Jan cut all emotional and personal ties with Demet Özdemir. This pressure pushed Jan into a dark emotional corner, one he couldn't escape from. The shocking agreement, a contract nobody saw coming. And then it happened. A document was drafted between Jan and Sara. A document that insiders are calling the Relationship Restriction and Media Control Agreement. And Jan signed it. But what's inside this mysterious agreement? Here's what we know from sources close to the situation. 1. Sara controls Jan's media representation. Every interview, every public statement, every Instagram post. 2. Jan is forbidden from communicating with Demet Özdemir in any form. Yes, forbidden. This clause alone turns social media into a battlefield. 3. In case of a breakup, Sara receives specific legal protections and rights. 4. Sara cannot use Jan's name for commercial gain without permission. But the real explosion came from the clause banning communication with Demet. Because fans think Jan signed it to protect Demet, not to obey Sara. Remember Demet's frightening statement? She recently said Sara's family threatened her. "Now I am scared." When Jan learned this, insiders say he was furious, more furious than he has ever been. Some journalists believe he signed the agreement as a shield, not a surrender. Demet breaks down again. When Demet heard about the agreement, she reportedly collapsed emotionally. She told her close friends, "If Jan was forced into this, it breaks my heart. But if Sara pushed him into it, then there is nothing more to say." These words changed everything, because they implied one thing. Yaman is under pressure. Real, heavy pressure. Sara celebrates. Confidence returns. Meanwhile, Sara appears relieved and confident. An Italian magazine reported that she said backstage, "Jan has finally made a real decision." Fans interpreted this as Sara believing she now controls the relationship. And honestly, the evidence supports that theory. Yaman's frozen silence. During the chaos, Jan vanished again. Not even his own representative could reach him. Insiders say he keeps repeating one sentence: "I didn't do this for anyone. I did it for my own peace." But media commentators argue the opposite, that he is emotionally trapped, that the contract is a cry for help, that Jan is trying to protect the only person he still cares about deeply, Demet. Social media is divided. Two nations, Turkey and Italy, are split in half. One group says, Jan was forced. He had no choice. Another group argues, Jan made his decision. He chose Sara. But the truth is buried somewhere in the shadows of fear, anger, pressure, and unresolved love. And only Jan knows it. And that, dear friends, is the latest chapter in this unbelievable saga. Thank you for watching Magazine News and Gossip, the only place where we follow the truth, no matter how dramatic it gets. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. I love you all so much. Stay safe, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.